Hi, this is David Sciplin again from Coldwell Banker. So we had to take a little break from doing videos for a little while because summer was kind of crazy. So we're back. And today we're talking with Bettina McGowan from American Home Shield. We're trying to get Bettina in there a little bit. The things kept going on with different schedules, but welcome.
Thank you so much. It's peak season in home warranty.
Yes.
We get more warranties in a 3-month period than we do all year long.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, so we're just winding down. Once the weather cooperates a little bit more, things will be much easier.
Well, I invited you here because I'm sure there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings about home warranties. So I kind of wanted to clear some of that up for our viewers out there. So starting off, what is a home warranty and why do I even need one?
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me.
Of course.
And so a home warranty is actually a service contract. And it covers systems and appliances in the home that break down due to normal wear and tear. And it's especially important when someone's buying a home because, as you can imagine, they've not lived in the house before. So it's going to give that person peace of mind, and there'll be an awful lot of budget protection that they'll have during the course of that first year that they live in the home.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. So a lot of times when I work with buyers and sellers, the question comes down to, at what point do I need to actually order it? Do I need a home inspection when I order the home warranty? Does that even count? Does it matter?
Yeah, well, that's a great question because I've been in this business for about 9 years now, and when I first started, nobody ever really dealt with the home inspection too much. But I now see some of our competitors, especially smaller companies, that are actually requesting the home inspection report up front.
Okay.
Maybe giving some sort of financial way, something financial possibly for doing so. We don't ask for home inspection reports at all. Okay. But I may ask for it, and our service department may ask for it to reverse a denial. Okay. Because if everything was clear to you and your client as you walk through the property at close of escrow, and it is a covered item on our contract, then we should be covering that.
Okay.
And sometimes our techs are great, but sometimes they might make a mistake, and so we want to use that home inspection to reverse that denial. Okay.
Because I've been in situations where we didn't know what an issue was. This is before you.
Then this is for one of your clients, not for you. Okay.
It's for one of my clients.
Yeah.
And we had an item and we went through. I believe it should have been covered because we didn't know about it, but it was denied. But when an issue is denied, how do you handle that?
Well, what typically happens is our clients are you as agents. And so you would contact me. We have an entire escalation team that works on this. And I submit the problem to them. I ask our service department to review the denial. In some cases, we might even get a second opinion put in place. All of that, again, taken care of on our end on your behalf for your client.
Okay.
And I would say, if I put a percentage, I'm probably 80% of the time I'm getting things reversed.
Okay.
There are those things that I work very hard.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and contractors know many times if everyone should have known something in some cases. And if we get 2 contractors to say the same thing, that's harder, and we don't have a home inspection report that counters it, then I'm kind of stuck.
Right.
That's that 20% of the time that I can't get it reversed.
Okay. So when you hire contractors to actually do work on clients' homes, how do you pick your contractors?
That is a really great question. There is a lull in people wanting to go into the skilled trades, unfortunately. It's really a problem. And what I have noticed, it's even worse here in Northern California. I was in Vegas for a handful of years, and we had a little easier time getting contractors there. But it's very expensive to live here. And so that skilled trade is not what people want to do for a profession. Now, we're trying to change that. Our company has all sorts of initiatives on this. And I do find it fascinating because without a college degree, if you go into HVAC, electrical, plumbing type trade, you can almost, you can move towards that $100,000 pretty quick.
Right.
But people don't know that.
Yeah.
And parents aren't helping their kids understand that.
Right.
But so we have a difficult time getting contractors, but when we do go out there, we recruit. We have a contractors relations department. That's all that they do. And we're always looking for referrals. So if you and your clients know folks that might want to work with a home warranty company, just give me the contact information and I'll get it right over to our contractor relations department. And then as far as prerequisites for what's necessary to be a contractor for American Home Shield, if it's a skilled trade, we need them to be licensed. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that's a misconception. People think that we carry the insurance. So if there's like unfortunate secondary damage that happens, that's not on American Home Shield. That's actually through the contractor.
Right.
We can help people with that process if it's not going smoothly, but it is the contractor's responsibility.
Okay. So on a second level, if you're a contractor, you do really good work and you have your bonded license and insurance, look at American Home Shield for additional business.
That's right. That's right. And we're really, in certain trades, we're really, struggling. And kind of in the same vein, because I also think it's really important to understand, appliances are not made like they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so, everybody talks about
push them and they fall over. And
They do. And I'm of the age where there were universal parts that would be on a truck that could be put in a lot of different systems to correct a problem. And that's when the home warranty industry started in the 70s, 80s, even 90s. Now with things breaking, you have one part from one manufacturer and you can't get it for a month. That's another component of what's happening with the home warranty industry. We do our best, but these are all the things that homeowners have to try to understand.
Right. It's not always going to happen right away.
Correct. And that's not all the home warranty's fault. There's a lot of supply chain problems, and again, just getting that one part. Right. Sometimes we can't get the part, and then there's other options from there.
Okay, so be patient, please.
That's right.
They're trying, but be patient.
Yes.
So I've had clients in the past that have had different levels of quality of appliances. So what kind of limits are there if they have a high-end appliance and they want to get it repaired or replaced because they can't get it fixed? What kind of restrictions do you have on those?
Well, we have coverage limits. They're very clearly listed on the contract itself. So I know contracts are not, fun to read.
Yeah.
But a trick that I do tell people is when you're reading a contract, read what's not covered first. Because there's something about the mind that will retain that information more than you reading a laundry list of things that are covered.
Okay, that makes sense.
So those contract limits are on our brochures, our marketing brochures that you would be providing to your clients. It's on the contract themselves. Okay. One thing I'll bring up now, because it is important, there's two different divisions in most big home warranty companies. There's a consumer division and a real estate division. Okay. And the real estate division typically has better coverage. Okay. Limits. And so I'll use appliances as an example. It's $7,000 for an individual appliance on the real estate plan with our Shield Plus plan. That's our top plan. Okay. Similar plan on the consumer side is $4,000. Okay. So those are the kinds of things that you want to just be careful. And I always say go to the contract because they do change.
So when you're buying a house, talk to your agent.
Yeah, talk to your agent. And regardless of the home warranty company you're going with, it's always best to go with the top plan. Because there is not a week that goes by that I don't get a call from a buyer that says, why didn't I get the top plan? Why didn't my agent tell me how important it was? Because I don't have this coverage, I don't have that coverage. So the first year they're in the home, just go with the top plan. Yeah. it'll make life easier for your clients. And for all of us, because they'll be much more satisfied.
Yeah, I can't tell people what I do for my clients, but if you give me a call, I'll let you know.
I'm sure you do wonderfully. Just this in itself, helping educate people is a big deal.
And for me, it's all about education. My whole business is about education.
Yep.
So seller's warranties.
Yes.
So the seller has an option to get a warranty. How does that work?
Yeah, that's another, little tiny bit of a complex topic, but most home warranty companies offer seller's coverage, but the first thing to say is if you're selling your home, you want to, and you already have a home warranty, regardless of who it's with, you want to keep that in place until the close of escrow, because the seller's home warranties are an abbreviated version of a home warranty.
Okay.
Much less coverage.
Okay.
So keep the warranty in place till close of escrow, and then go with American Home Shield, of course. But when you're getting a seller coverage and there isn't anything on the property, then you can set it up at no upfront cost. There's no waiting period, so the day that you would put the seller's coverage in place, it would be active.
Okay.
There'd be $1,500 worth of coverage. It's for 6 months. We don't have listings that last 6 months, but we used to.
Yeah.
We hope not.
If we do here, something's wrong.
That's right. And it's a systems only plan. So we don't put appliances on there because there's only $1,500 worth of coverage, and appliances take so long, we don't want to hold up an escrow.
Right.
Because there's a part missing from a refrigerator.
Right.
So, but there's no cost if they don't close with American Home Shield. So even if the policy is used, let's say the water heater goes out, that seems to happen a lot right before close of escrow, and we replace it, and they've used the policy, maybe it was $800, $900, something like that, and the home buyer does not want a home warranty. They just say, you know what, I don't want one for whatever reason. You call and cancel. There's absolutely no cost to your seller. So it's kind of a no-brainer to at least talk about it with sellers and for them to consider it, because if the buyer goes with American Home Shield, it's going to cost $1.16 a day. That's a California thing.
Yeah.
that's not, other states handle it differently, but in California it's $1.16 a day. But if the policy is not used, no harm, no foul. We just cancel it and no cost to anyone.
Well, I would advise buyers to keep coverage, because I've had situations in the past with clients, and if they didn't have the warranty, they would have had issues.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Is the home warranty, with the buyer sells the home, seller sells the home, is that coverage transferable, or does it die with the sale?
There's options.
See, I always like options.
Yeah, there's options. So you can transfer it, but I don't recommend it. Partly because most of the time the policy that's going to be in place is going to be a consumer plan. And those consumer plans have less coverage, and you're only going to be passing forward whatever months are left.
Okay.
Right? So there's less coverage, not a full year coverage. What we do quite often is we do proration. Okay. And you'll notice that in escrow a lot. And so if there's, let's say, the warranty was paid in full and there's 6 months left on the warranty, we can prorate that amount and apply it to the buyer warranty, so it's less.
Okay.
Now, if the seller doesn't want to pay for the home warranty, if that was negotiated out, which happens a lot, and especially here, they can call and cancel. But again, you want to keep that warranty in place until you have closed. Okay. Because we'll honor whether it's seller's warranty or whether it's an existing homeowner plan. Okay. But that transferring, I just don't recommend, because it's usually less coverage and it's just not a full year. Okay. But the money. But it can happen. But you can do it. Okay. But on a prorated basis, it might be better to prorate it, get your new policy, and then make that first year policy live. That's right. And it starts the day of close of escrow. And that's the other feature that is a little different between a real estate plan and a consumer plan. Consumer plans have 30-day hold period. So that's another topic that when buyers are doing their own research, because they do it all the time, you want to make sure, buyers out there, that you go to the real estate portion of a website. Because if you go to the consumer side and you accidentally, in our world it's called Shield Platinum, if you get that Shield Platinum plan, you'll have a 30-day hold. And then if your water heater goes out on week 2, you won't be covered. If you had the Real Estate Shield Complete plan, you would be covered the day the property closed. Okay. So that's a really big topic. Yeah, because I didn't know there were 2 separate plans, because I've always dealt with the real estate side of it. That's right. But I didn't know there was a different consumer plan. There is, and for the big companies, not the small regional companies are not always set up that way, but the big companies, First American, Fidelity, American Home Shield, we all have 2 divisions. And so it's when you're on that website, it does say, like on our site, it says real estate. You can toggle to it, but you hit it at on the consumer side. You're looking at consumer plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
No, that makes a lot of sense because I wouldn't normally, if as a consumer, go to the real estate side at all. I would just go to where it says for me to go on the consumer
exactly,
side.
and that's why I'm trying so hard to get our people to look at saying, "Are you buying a home?" Like ask the question, and then I'm buying a home, and they click it, and they get to the right side.
Okay, that makes.
So I'm working on it.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully this will help people a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's been a big, and you talked about this at our meetings, a big issue now with air conditioning.
Oh, yes.
So could you tell people what's going on?
Yes. So another very complex topic, but to kind of go back to the beginning of when it started, decades ago, the United States, along with many other countries, signed a treaty that said we were going to work on helping the ozone layer. So we were going to limit the use of things that was depleting our ozone. So everybody didn't care about it until, and this started in like the 70s, until about 2019. And when we were right up on the 2020 phase out of Freon. So R22 refrigerant, which is used to cool homes in older homes, and also called Freon, which is a DuPont term, was phased out January 1st, 2020. We can still work on that. Those with homes that have that material in it, in those ACs, but the supply and demand cost, it's becoming very, very expensive. Fast forward 4 years, we're just in 2024, moving to 2025. We're now going to be phasing out the R410A, which is the new standard as of 2020. So only after 4 years, and the reason we're doing that is because of global warming. You hear a lot of talk about that now. So this new material that we're going to be starting to use as of January 1st, 2025, is also going to wreak havoc with the price of things. So again, older homes that have these really old units, we're still going to be able to work on them. Things that have been put in place the last 4 years, still going to be able to work on them, but it's going to cost more. And in some cases, it makes sense to upgrade your system. And we had an example, I don't know if you were at the meeting the last time I was here, but we have an upgrade program at American Home Shield, and anyone who has our policy, free of charge, can have somebody come out and evaluate their system. It doesn't have to be not working. They just come out and evaluate it, and they supply a quote to get a new system put in place.
Right.
And nationwide, it's running about a 50% discount. Here locally, just because of what we're up against with pricing, it's about 25%. And one of the other agents here confirmed that she had somebody come out, and then she got quotes from other vendors, and the cost was about a 20 to 25% savings.
Oh yeah, I was at that meeting. She was very happy.
Yeah. Well, and she's not doing that yet. She's waiting for a bit. We're getting out of the season now. She's going to do it next year, but that's kind of another value add for having the policy. But I think the trick for buyers who are especially buying homes with R22 in it, going way back, the ones from maybe 2010 and even before, there's going to be cost at some point, whether it's repair or replacement. And home warranties, who are charging between $400 and $900 for a year for a warranty, can't replace all these systems.
Right.
We just can't do it.
Right.
So that's why we started the upgrade program.
Okay.
To help people and give them an option. But that is an important feature when you're buying a home.
Because I know there's a lot of older homes that have old systems in it, and people just don't have the money to replace it because some of those systems are $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to replace.
Oh, and right now the going quote, I think for standard like 2,000, just under 2,000 square foot home, single story 4-ton type unit can be upwards of $15,000, depending on efficiency.
Right.
See, those are all the things you don't have to get the biggest, the best efficiency one, but it's very costly. And we're still going to repair, and we're still going to replace when we can't repair any longer. But there are non-covered costs associated with that because of all the things that have to change, all the modifications, all the codes, all the permits, all this stuff has to change. And that's another big ticket cost for homeowners.
Right, yeah.
But without a home warranty, it would be that much more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way to look at that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the biggest thing of what you're saying is have a a thought process of planning ahead.
Correct.
And if you have a home warranty, that gives you an opportunity to plan ahead. And if something major comes up, you have something to go back on.
Well, it's budget protection.
Budget protection, yeah.
Right. It's helping the budget. And then understanding if you are buying that really old home, that eventually the systems have to be changed out. And then we're here to help with a discount on that as well.
Yeah, especially in our market, when you're looking at an older home on the smaller side, it's still $1.5 million. You kind of want to have something behind it.
I know. I'm born and raised here. So, my parents bought their house at $30,000 in Los Gatos. Yeah. So that kind of dates me, right?
Yeah.
And I lived in Vegas and then moved back to this. I was in Vegas for 6 years. So.
Yeah. Well, it's the cost. And if you can save a little money here and there, it's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm not here to promote any particular company, because I actually one of them somebody said, well, you're just promoting a different company. If anybody else wants to come on, I'll talk about them too. But here's the thing. Bettina is accessible to us, and she provides very good information. And as I said, the point of this channel in general is just to give people information. I want to make sure that everyone's prepared. You know what you're doing. Even if no one tells you, you have some inkling of what questions to ask. Mm-hmm. That way you can protect yourself, basically.
Yeah. Well, and I'm here to help. And the other thing I wanted to mention is it is so important to look at the contract. I mean, we talked about that a bit ago, but for us, there's a way for us to get a sample contract to you that you can supply your clients. And then also, once you have an American Home Shield policy, we have a portal called My Account. Mm-hmm. And inside that portal, actually, when you're ordering service, you can click on what's not covered.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty cool.
So that's now, some people want to just continue to call, and that's fine. But, you're calling call centers, all of us have them now. And that My Account is so cool, because right there you can see, this says it's not covered.
Yeah.
So and it's very user friendly. That's been an upgrade for us this past year.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you should bring that up in one of the meetings and show us what it looks like. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you like to let people know about?
Just that, there's a lot of budget protection and peace of mind with home warranties. I think there's a lot of expectations that are not met because people didn't really understand what it was from the beginning. And another thing that we've put in place this year that has been so helpful is we do a welcome call now. And so when your clients close and after it's funded, we actually call the homeowner to say, hey, do you know you have the home warranty? Because some of them don't know that. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was homeowner's insurance. No, so they get them confused. Yeah. And they walk them through the process. How do you order service? They can talk about coverage questions. And so we're really doing everything that we can to help educate, because that's really what it's all about. And when people are educated, they have the right expectations, they're very satisfied with home warranties. Okay. When those things aren't in play, and they don't really understand what it is or that they even had it, there's a lot of dissatisfaction. But
yeah, I've heard that actually before. People that they're equating their hazard insurance with their home warranty. It's like no, they're different things.
Yeah, but to the defense of a buyer, there's so much going on, and they've just got into the home and something happens and they get they're frustrated. And so, that's our job too, to help you and give you the tools to help them understand what they have. So.
And when you look at our state, the amount of paperwork we have to sign.
Yes. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was a real estate agent for a short period of time. Your jobs are very full.
Yeah, and especially when we have to read everything. And read the contract when you get it. Or make sure you call someone to make sure you understand what's going on.
Yeah, and we're there to help. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course.